Today we are going to start with all new topic silhouette and shadow puppets. Shadow puppets many of you have seen in many of the videos. Today we will discuss silhouette, what is silhouette and what are the shadow puppets made up of. The name silhouette traces back to the mid-18th century French finance minister Etienne de Silhouette, because his name was synonymous with doing things cheaply and because he was fond of making these images himself. This art form was named after him. In America, silhouettes were highly popular from about 1790 to 1840. Till now, we all know what is shadow. If an object is opaque and the light hits it and cannot pass through it, shadow forms. Simply speaking, a shadow is an absence of light. Now, what is silhouette? An opaque object held between a light source and a screen gives you a shadow on the screen. The shadow of the object is a silhouette. We can make different shadow silhouettes with hands. You need a light source and a screen to make different silhouettes. In the first image, you can see a beautiful bird has been made with the help of hands. In the second image, a rabbit has been made. Same way, you can try other images also with your hands. What is shadow puppet? A shadow puppet uses a silhouette to represent the puppet. Long ago, people recorded their history by telling stories. This was before writing was invented. In ancient China and Indonesia, storytellers used shadow puppets to tell the stories. Each villager's storyteller was known as puppet master. When he put on a show, the whole village would watch. He used his hands and even his feet to make the puppet move. He also added noise effects to protect the shadow onto the screen. He hung a bowl of fire above his head. Shadow puppet show. Within this video, you can see how a shadow puppet show generally made. How they move their puppet and their shadow comes on screen and people watch them and understand the stories. What affects the size of a shadow? Leela made a crocodile shadow puppet. If they change the position of the puppet, they would make it bigger on the screen. As the crocodile shadow gets bigger, it gets scarier. How can you vary the size of a shadow? The closer an object is to the light source, the larger the shadow it casts. This is because an object closer to the source will block a larger area of the light, increase its shadow size. What makes shadow bigger or smaller? Indoors, you can change the size of a shadow by moving your body or the object closer to or farther from the light. Shadows grow bigger and fuzzier as the object moves closer to light source and smaller and sharper as the object moves farther away. Let's do one activity on shadow size. Is the size of a shadow affected by changing the position of the object? Set up the light source and the screen 3 meters apart. The distance between light source and the screen is a factor in your investigation. You are not going to change this distance. So we call this factor called control factor. The other factor is the difference between the shadow puppet and the light source. You are going to change this. What we will observe if we change these factors. You can change the size of a shadow by moving your body or the object closer to or farther from the light. Shadows grow bigger and fuzzier as the object moves close to light source. This is because you all know the object which is closer to light source will block more light, and it goes smaller and sharper as the object moves farther away. What would happen if you change the position of the screen but kept the other factors the same? In the last activity we have seen screen and the light source. Distance between them is a control factor. We cannot change them. So if we change the screen, as we all know that a shadow forms when an object comes between the light source and a screen. If we remove the screen from the opposite side of the light and put it in some other place, the shadow on screen will not come. That means the shadow will not create.